So hello everyone, welcome back to Oliveboard regulatory bodies. As you know that RBI Grade B 2024 Phase 2 exam as well as NABARD Grade A 2024 Phase 2 exam are approaching very soon. If you observe the RBI and NABARD Phase 2 exam specifically and even other regulatory bodies which are now into news such as RBI or IFSCA, in all these exams the English descriptive part is common. The English descriptive part in which essay, précis, letter or reading comprehension comes. This is for huge 100 marks. So when you consider even mark distribution, it is more than 60 to 70% of your overall total marks which are there in your Phase 2 exam. So if you consider answer writing, out of total marks, total answer writing covers more than 50%, and out of these again 50 to 60%, a major chunk of marks are from your English descriptive section. So here many of the students take in for granted your essay writing, your précis writing and your reading comprehension and letter. Today let us try to look into what is the strategy and how we can score more marks. Here the realistic target out of 100 marks for RBI and NABARD, here we will see it is 60 plus marks out of 100. So let us try to look at how we can try to score in each sections, essay, précis, reading comprehension, letter, in such a way that we will get 60 to 70 marks in our overall exam. Now, when you look at the cutoff analysis, the cutoff for Phase 2 when we are talking about, especially for English descriptive, it is within the 40 to 55 marks. Okay. So overall, if you see for last 5 years, especially for RBI as well as NABARD, so cutoff analysis tells us that essay, précis, reading comprehension or letter is there. So here we should be concentrating on how much score should be there which you should be getting in your exam. We can discuss this, but before that let us discuss that why English descriptive is very important in your Phase 2 exam. We all know that Phase 2 is a combination, that is assessment of objective and subjectiveness. Now in English descriptive they have given you 3 questions: essay, précis and letter or reading comprehension. So here or RC when we are considering RBI. Now mark distribution is also given to you and number of words are also given to you. Considering this, first we will start with the strategy for essay. Now then I will tell you that how much you have to score. So stay with me till the end. At the end I will tell you that how much marks you should get in essay, how much marks you should get in précis, how much marks you should get in reading comprehension. Is it okay? Let's start. What is essay? So first we have to understand that what essay is and why for the exams like RBI, NABARD competitive exams, why this is not the essay which we used to write in 5th standard. Look at this, an essay when we are talking about, it is a piece of writing designed to affect its reader in a matter determined by its author. Always remember, when you are writing an essay, if you give that essay to read it to someone, you should write the essay in such a way that your reader should be interested, and the essay should be written in such a way that it has perspective of all the people, so that any reader, any user, any reader, if he is reading, he becomes interested in your overall piece of writing which you have written. A good essay always will try to really take a reader, okay, in the writer's position on his or her subject. Suppose I wrote my favorite animal, and if I give that particular essay to read it to you, then you as a reader will understand my perspective, the writer's perspective, that yes, I can understand that writer's favorite animal is horse or a cow or a dog, and the essay also has been written very beautifully. If this happens, then we can say that essay has been written correctly. So essay is not just a piece of comprehension or writing. It is more of putting the content in one of the formal ways to express multiple dimensions, the content in a proper flow, and in such a way that whatever readers are there, they become interested and they understand the perspective of the writer. So this is the good definition of essay, or a good definition of a better essay. When you understand what is essay writing, always remember, in 5th standard also you wrote the essay, in 10th also you wrote an essay. Then what is the difference between an essay writing in competitive exam and in your generic essay writing? In competitive exam, the essay will be evaluated. There are certain criterias through which it could be looked upon. There are certain factors which would be looked upon. How to write an essay. Then overall, what is the syntax and structure of essay? All these things could be looked into, and most important of all, it would be evaluated and the marks will be given to you for this particular essay. It is not a random essay which we are writing. Now, the rest of the questions, that from where to start and how to start essay preparation, one of the surprising thing about essay is that you don't need to prepare anything. Generally, whatever subjects are there, if you are an RBI student, if you are an NABARD student, ESI is there, finance is there, management is there. These subjects when you are looking at, you can prepare for these subjects, and if 60% syllabus is definitely covered from your side, then you can directly start writing the essays. A generic understanding is required when essay as a literature is considered. There is a little room for informality also, as well as freedom to write the essay. So essay, when we are talking about, and answer writing we are talking about, answer writing is something which is closed box, but essay when we are talking about, it is always open box. Okay, it is always open box. So there is a leisure to the writer to write in his own way, in his own language. Do we need essay preparation? Yes, of course we do. More the leisure is always try to remember that essay is all about how you put forth your ideas, how you put forth your perspective, how you put forth your viewpoint, and how that viewpoint or that content, that information, that perspective which you are trying to tell in your essay, how that takes over your readers. How readers are also inspired, as well as they like what you have written. So that is why a constant practice has to be done. Now, why this practice has to be done? It is because if you start writing essay from today itself, there would be a proper improvement in your essay writing. For RBI and NABARD also similarly, the basic formatting of essay already we are knowing. It is nothing but essay also has introduction, conclusion, and a body. The body need not to be in point. It should be in proper paragraphs. The most important thing for essay is that it should be multidimensional. It should talk about everything which is associated with the topic. And other very important thing is that there should be a proper flow from one para to other. Essay writing essentials and do's and don'ts of essays when we are talking about. Yes, when essay writing we are talking about, always remember whatever topic is there, the keywords of the essay topic are very, very important. What the essay is about. So suppose the essay is about the scope of tourism sector in India, or the essay is also upon the highlight the condition of inflation and unemployment in the country. So such essay keywords are nothing but the themes or topics which are asked in your essay question. Creating a structure. Overall, when you are looking at essay, you are writing an essay in a brief way. So if you consider a structure of an essay, we have intro with us, we have conclusion with us, and the body when we are talking about it is made up of multiple paragraphs. Each paragraph is connected and well knitted in itself. So there should be a proper connection and proper flow from one para to other. The introduction when we are talking about, it has what and why, and body when we are talking about, it is multidimensional. Facts are there, schemes are there, as well as examples are there. In conclusions, you will see that it is optimistic or futuristic in nature. So all these things are there which are associated with your essay writing. Is it okay? Pro tips, if I want to share with you, always remember 5 to 6 questions in essay are always related to your topic. Okay, so whenever in RBI or your NABARD, the questions which are asked to you, all these questions will be asked related to subjects. 4 questions are asked. In last 5 years if you see, or 2 to 3 years if you see, most of the essay, if you will think that essay is generic, they may ask anything. No. In RBI exam, 1 to 2 essay, one essay is from economic and social issues, one essay is from finance point of view, one essay is from management point of view. Similarly in NABARD, one essay is from ESI, one essay is from agriculture and rural development. The other essay will be associated with agricultural economics. So in this way, you will see definitely that in last 2 to 3 years, overall questions which are asked in essay, most of them are from the related topics from the question. Whenever question is given, always remember, if a essay has been given to you, to understand what is the essay talking about, always try to answer an essay in 3 to 4 lines. Describe an essay in 3 to 4 lines. And this essay description of 3 to 4 lines, you should just imagine, you should brainstorm. So the brainstorming of essay could be done by just brainstorming 3-4 lines about the topic. Then you can structure the overall essay into intro, body and conclusion. The writing of essay you should only begin after your brainstorming session, collecting multiple points and then writing an essay. Checking the errors is also very, very important, which includes your spelling errors, punctuation errors, as well as the spelling errors, punctuation and grammatical errors. Then proportions also should be observed. For example, the introduction, your conclusion, these should not be bigger than your body. So proper proportion has to be maintained. So when you are considering your essay paper, introduction, when we are talking about it, should be 3 to 4 lines. Conclusion should be 3 to 4 lines. Each paragraph also here you are looking at, it should be 3 to 4 or 5 to 6 line maximum. Each paragraph should be of proper length. If one paragraph is of 5 lines, then all the paragraphs should be of 5 lines only. One paragraph should not be huge. 1/3 of the original passage or mentioned word limit. So remember that if the essay has been given to you, remember that word limit for essay is very, very important. And lastly, preparation of ESI, ARD, finance, management becomes very, very crucial for your preparation. Okay? Because in essay writing, as I told you, 4 questions are asked. The 4 questions whichever are asked, of that 1 question will be from directly ESI, 1 question directly from finance, management, ARD. So prepare well. Always remember, everybody has prerequisite content for writing an essay. I have also read economic and social issues. You have also read economic and social issues. Therefore, content everybody will be having. So what is different here? The different here, along with the content, structuring becomes very important. How you are structuring your essay, how you are maintaining the flow, which points you are writing first, which paragraph orders are first. Flow and linkages. The linkages between 1 to 2 paragraphs, 2 to 3 paragraphs, 3 to 4 paragraphs. The typing speed is also very, very important because it will determine that how much words you are typing. Are you making mistakes while typing? Spelling, grammatical and punctuation errors, these are also very important because this will grab the marks which you are having in your hands. Practicing the exam on interface is very, very important. Generally, the typing speed which you are looking at, it should be 30 words per minute. More than 30 words per minute, if the speed is there, it is good to go. Always remember that you can try having an experience of real-time exam by typing on notepad and then copying your answer on the Grammarly to understand the mistakes of spelling, grammatical and punctuations. The second thing is that after understanding your errors, you can try to improve answer writing in the same way. So use notepad rather than Word document. What will happen? Word document, you will understand that which word is wrong. Red underline will come, green underline will come. But in exam that doesn't come. That is why use notepad to write the answers. Write multiple arguments, dimensions, and support each of these arguments by data, facts, examples and case studies. In essay also, the approach is similar to answer writing only. Just answer writing has stricter structure. Essay doesn't have that much strict structure. You can even write it in simple language also. There is no require of flamboyant language in your essay, especially for RBI and NABARD. Newspapers and articles can always add on your content and values which you can add in your essay. Understand, analyze and then only write. In essay writing, you will see that the time which is provided, that is more than sufficient to write an essay. You can have an sufficient brainstorming time and then you can utilize that to write an essay. Just analyze and then write, brainstorm and then write. Evaluation also, you should not forget that essay is evaluated on certain criterias. These criterias are there which determine have you written it better. It may be the errors, it may be how much word limit you have done, it may be how the content has been written. Is your overall flow of essay, overall content of the essay, is it matching to the required demand of the particular question which has been asked? All these things are being checked. Précis writing, when we are talking about, is the next part. So once we understand essay now, we know that for RBI and NABARD, essay when we are talking about, it is for 40 marks. Okay, for NABARD it's 40 marks. In RBI, it's actually 30 marks. So whatever the marking is, always remember in essay there is a chance that you can get more than 60% of marks. So if 40 marks are there, you can try to get more than 25 marks. If you are having, you are giving RBI, then you can try to get more than 20 marks, 25 marks. So keep a target in essay of more than 20 to 25 marks at an basic level. In Prezi, when we are talking about, we can discuss what is Prezi writing about. There is a difference in Prezi and summarizing. So always remember, when Prezi, when we are talking about, it is a compact, condensed, brief form of passage. It is not something which summary writing which we are looking into. When Prezi is considered, it is a clear, compact, and more importantly, logical summary of a passage. Where summary, when we are talking about, it is just a short version. It's a crunched content. But Prezi, when we are talking about, it is clear, compact, and logical summary. So something summary, when we are talking about, it is just reducing the number of words, or you may also call it as a gist. But Prezi, when we are talking about, it is not just a gist, but it is comprehension, and it mentions all the essential points, does not change the meaning and the basic idea of that particular passage. That is what Prezi is all about. Always remember, there are certain points in Prezi which are very important. First is understanding and outlining the original idea and about the passage. Second is, of course, keeping the abstract of the passage and do not change it. Second is always again selection of most prominent and important statements in the passage given. Understand that these all statements which are very important are required. And lastly, form a chain of facts, connect to make an organic whole. Look at all these 4 points, very, very important. So what we have to do? First, find the outline of a passage. Understand what is this passage about. You have to also give title to the passage. That is why you have to understand, you have to read between the lines what is the meaning of this passage. Then keep the abstract of the passage with yourself and read the most important lines which are there in this whole passage. Once you understand the important lines, then go for the facts and other organic and connect with the other organic content also. Once you understand this, now you can try writing your Prezi based on the passage. So in Prezi, the skill which is required. In essay, the skill which is required is comprehension. In Prezi, the skill which is required is paraphrasing. So in essay, comprehension skill is checked. In Prezi, paraphrasing skill is checked. Okay. So the motive of writing Prezi, always remember, is the main thing is to make reader understand the main essence of the paragraph and then let him shorter that particular paragraph or make it a shorter version of that particular paragraph. This is the main intention of our Prezi writing. Always remember, here Prezi writing, when you are looking at, you have to understand the meaning of that passage. That is quintessential thing before writing any Prezi. Okay. There are certain rules when you are writing a Prezi. You cannot write it randomly. It is also one of the formal ways of writing. So therefore, first brainstorm the meaning of the passage, stick to the abstract, and then remove and check out the main points, and then try to write a passage maintaining a same flow which original passage had. The meaning and neither the content, okay, the idea, meaning, content of the original passage should not change. Are we clear? Tips when we are writing about Prezi writing. What are the tips? First, to write the title of a Prezi, we always should have the gist or crux of the passage. Second, it is very important that the statements should not repeat or replicate on itself. Third, you should have brevity as well as clarity when it comes to when you are reading the passage. You should have clarity that what is the passage talking about. Even one statement, you should not have any confusion. Always remember, use indirect speech while writing your Prezi. Don't use direct speech. Also, there should be some statistical information and generic information. You can avoid that. Just write main information. Observe proportions also in your Prezi, that how we are maintaining the proportions. And lastly, 1/3 of original passage when we are talking about, 1/3 of original passage when we are talking about, suppose original passage is of 300 words, then your précis should be 1/3 of it, that is only 100 words. So from 300 we have done 100 words. Okay. Next, which we are talking about, the difference between précis and summary. As I already told you, summary is nothing but just a shortened description. They will not even care that which points we have to select and which points we don't have to select. Précis is nothing, summary is nothing but just to convert a 400 words passage into 200 or 100. Précis is not about that. Précis is about a small replica or model of a passage. It is a version of a passage. The idea, the flow, the structure will not change. Okay, so this is the difference between précis. Tips for writing a précis: simple. Read the articles from Hindu and various newspapers and try to write these in your own words. A very good experimentation which you can definitely try. And lastly, try reducing, suppose 3 paragraphs are there in your passage. So simple, you have to reduce these 3 paragraphs into 1 paragraph, that is 1/3. So that's what your précis is asking near you. Overall, when you are looking at précis, it is for 30 marks. Always remember, you can score more than 15 to 20 marks in précis, provided you follow the rules and provided you do a proper practice. You know what? For précis writing, even if you are not able to write a précis, you can even do the brainstorming. How you can do it? Simple. When you are reading the newspaper, try to read a passage which is of 300 words or 400 words. After reading, close the newspaper and try to just recollect and frame the statements in your mind which would be of just 100 words. So this will give you a practice as well as a understanding about your précis writing. Then comes very important part, that is reading comprehension and letter writing. For reading comprehension, let me tell you, if you want to practice reading comprehension is nothing but you will be given a long passage, you have to read it, you have to read between the lines, you have to understand the meaning of each and every intersections. And once you understand the meaning, then you can go to the questions. This is what generally mostly students follow. But in reading comprehension for competitive exams, you should first read the questions. First read the questions and then go to the passage. You go to the passage and read the passage. Now from the questions you will understand that which parts in the passage are very, very important. And surely from those parts when we are talking about the passage, you can start writing the answer to that question. So passage first, read the questions, then come to the passage, identify, okay, question was related to this particular line. Let me read this line. What is it saying about? Once you get the answer, write the answer to that question. This is what generally how we have to solve the passages. The most important thing about passages, some passages are understandable. That is, those are not as complicated as it seems. But some passages are very, very difficult. Just imagine an example I'll give you. Suppose you are reading Hindu newspaper every day. Then it's a habit that you will understand the language of Hindu. What if I substitute the Hindu newspaper by Mint or Business Standard? You will not be that accommodative as well as you will not be that associative to read that Mint newspaper or Business Standard and to actually understand what has been written in the passages in that particular newspaper. So what to do in this context is to try reading multiple newspapers. A reading habit should be definitely there to comprehend and paraphrase. If essay writing is the test of comprehension, if précis writing is the test of paraphrasing, then reading comprehension is your test of reading, analyzing, and again recreating. So all 3 tests are there: comprehension, paraphrasing, and reading and recreating. In reading comprehension, again, try to at least read one random passage and try to make questions out of that passage, and then you only try to answer them. Are we clear? Next, in letter writing particularly, this is a thing which we have done in either 10th standard or 12th standard. So what is the difference between letter writing in competitive exam? Most of the letter writings which are given in last 2 to 3 years are majorly formal in nature. So formal letter writing is nothing but it is related to the professional subject. It may be related to congratulation to your manager. It may be associated with an particular governmental department and grievance addressal. Informal letters when we are writing, these are more related to personal requirements. This is to family, to friend, So both these letters are asked in exam, but recently we have seen that the number of formal letters are increasing. The basic structure and syntax of formal letter is very important rather than content, because content, the mistakes which can only happen are associated with your grammatical, punctuation and error and the spelling errors. Okay, the format is a receiver's name, receiver's address, date, then most important, subject line, which is for your formal letters. Subject line should be always crisp and only in 6 to 8 words. Then content of 2 to 3 paragraphs. Again, the name of the sender and the sender's address. You can also write a salutation such as yours sincerely, okay, or thanks and regards. This is a proper structure or the format for your letter writing. General tips which we are looking out for letter writing also. First is always remember in letter writing or in Pressy or in reading comprehension or in essay, remember that you have to type. So first general tip for typing is that as you have to type on the keyboard, always remember there can be mechanical mistakes also. So practice well on the keyboard itself so that you avoid various spelling mistakes. You are not expected to show vocabulary skills also. Remember, you cannot even show vocabulary skills. Stick to the basic English if your vocabulary is actually limited. Okay. Second thing is always follow writing patterns. Okay. And leave a space after a full stop. Leave a space after a paragraph also if required. Okay. Always remember that structure, hygiene of the content will always matter when you are writing essay, Pressy and your letter as well as reading comprehension answers. If it is asked to finish the essay in 200 words, for example, in case of word limits, always try to finish your essay within 200 only. But never try to go beyond the word limit. So you can try to finish your essay in 180 words. You can try to do in 190 words. Sometimes you can even finish in 170 words, but don't go beyond 200. And lastly, keywords. For any of the essay topics, the subject may be agriculture and rural development, ESI, or even it may be finance or management. Remember that the topic which has been asked, you need to have keywords with you so that you let know the examiner that you know various things about it. Add multiple dimensions, add various ways in which essay could be written, add good keywords which are associated with the respective topics so that you get more and more marks in the overall essay. Now lastly, if you look at the cutoffs here and what should be your target score, for essay, as I already told you, your target score should be between 25 to 30 marks. You should keep this target in mind and then only you should write essay. Secondly, for Pressy, you can keep a target of 18 to 20 marks. And lastly, you can keep the target for reading comprehension or your letter writing of 18 to 20 marks. If RC, as it could be for 40 marks in RBI, you can keep a target of again 25 plus marks. If you consider these your targets, then you can definitely score 60 to 70 marks in your RBI Grade B Phase 2 exam, as well as NABARD Grade A Phase 2 exam, as well as other regulatory bodies exam also. This was about a brief idea that how you can score in descriptive type, how you can score the overall 60 plus marks in your English descriptive. Are we clear here? So in this way, these are your targets for essay, letter and Pressy. Remember, in total, these 3 questions are for 100 marks. In each of the question, try to get 60% marks on an average. If you are able to do so, definitely you will get more than 60 marks out of 100. So for example, I will calculate. Suppose in essay, let's take example of NABARD here. Essay 45 marks, suppose you get 25. In Pressy, suppose you get 18 marks. And in letter writing, you get 18 marks. And if you calculate this, overall, look at the tally. Here you are getting more than 60 marks, correct? So in this way, you are getting more than 60 marks here, okay? So 10, 10, 20, 20 and 25, here 45, 45 and this 10, 55 plus 6, 61 marks. 61 marks, that is more than 61 marks you are getting easily, and this is something very easily. So I have given realistic targets for you for your essay, for your Prezi and for your letter. You can do it for the same RBI exam also, whichever is. But these 3 questions are not changing, and whatever targets I have given, those are very realistic in nature. If you practice for next 10 to 20 days for essay writing on weekly basis, where free essay writing series also which we are doing, you would be able to definitely get this 60 marks and no one can take this from you. So with this, let us now stop here, and we'll discuss more about scoring more than 50 to 60% of marks in your descriptive answer writing section for subjective part also. Thank you very much and see you next time.